Well, hello there everyone. How you doing on this Super Sunday? It's July the 9th, right? Yep, July 9th in 2023. My apologies for not making a video for a few days now. I've been crazy busy. Anyway, that's fine. Hopefully you're doing outstanding today. And the question of the day is, do you want to live a luxurious life? Living a life of luxury. You can do it, but you can't do it today unless you're already wealthy. Okay? Now, if you're a younger person and you're working a full-time job and you're living the life of luxury, you're probably doing something wrong. Unless you got rich parents who are just giving it all to you. Okay? Most of us aren't like that. All right? So, but if you want to live a life of luxury, there's a simple way to do it. Start investing. Okay? And I'm here to tell you it can be done. I am here to tell you that anyone watching this video, if you so desire to want to live a life of luxury, and if you can understand patience, perseverance, sticking with it, living frugal for the time being, you can live the life of luxury. I'm not talking about 50 years from now. I'm not talking about 20 years from now. I'm talking about within 10 years, okay? I know the market can be crazy. I know real estate prices go up and go down. I know the stock market can go up, it can go down. I know all this stuff. I've lived through recessions. I've lived through market crashes. I've lived through a real estate crash. I've invested through all sorts of different things, okay? And I'm here to tell you, if you have the desire, if you have that inner fire, and you want to live that life of luxury, don't do it today. Don't live the life today, but start today with starting to save, starting to invest, starting to put some money away to save for a down payment, and do get yourself involved with investing in real estate. Unless you have a high-paying job where you're making millions of dollars a year, then you have other options out there. Or unless you're starting a business and your business may potentially explode, you might have other options there. But for the average Jill and Joe, if you want to get a life of luxury, stay frugal today. Stay lean today. Play a good defense today. But start squirreling away money, saving dollars. Get a high yield savings account online. Put the money away and don't touch it. But save up for that down payment for your first house, or your second, or your third, or your fourth. There are real estate investors all over the United States of America. Every market out there, there are real estate investors. There are good ones and there are bad ones. There are people who are buying places that don't know what they're doing and they're going to lose money. My goal is to help you to learn how to run the numbers. And when you run the numbers, you make sure you have positive cash flow on each house. Do not buy, especially looking for appreciation. Buy looking for cash flow. You can't live off appreciation because you don't know what's going to happen. It may depreciate, not appreciate, you just don't know. You can live off the positive cash flow. All right, and if you get positive cash flow, I had a conversation with somebody a couple years back sitting on my front porch of my house in Virginia. I talked to him about investing in real estate, and I talked to him about investing in stocks. I'll give you an example, okay? I'm not naming any names of who this person is. We talked about stocks, we talked about real estate, and I told him I think the quickest way to wealth is through investing with real estate. While we were talking about it, I told him you can buy a house at that time, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, and after all expenses, after you withhold money for vacancies, repairs, capital expenditures, and property management, you may have positive cash flow of roughly $250. Okay? We discussed this. His words to me were something like, $250, that's it? You're buying it, for buying a house, all you're making is $250? I was like, you're not getting the point. The point is, that's after you hold out money for all expenses, roughly 20% for vacancies, repairs, and capital expenditures. Capital expenditures is the roof or the hot water heater. Repairs is fixing the leaking sink. Vacancies, what do I mean by vacancies? If a tenant moves out and it takes you a month to get a new tenant, you still need to pay your mortgage during that month, okay? Hold out 10% for the property manager, pay the mortgage and taxes and insurance and the mortgage, And whatever's left over is your positive cash flow after all expenses. Maybe you got to pay to cut the grass. Maybe you got to pay to shovel snow. Maybe you got to pay the water bill in the city of Chicago. You pay the water. The landlord pays the water bill. But after everything is paid, you should still have at least, if you're in my price range there, because you're looking at yield, but you want to have at least, say, $250 a month. Maybe it's $300 a month. To me, that's pretty good based on buying a house for $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year. Because why is that pretty good? Let me explain to you real quick. Every month when that tenant pays you, who's paying that mortgage? Your tenant is paying that mortgage. Who's paying those taxes and that insurance? Your tenant is paying those taxes and insurance. Who's holding out? Whose money is paying for the repairs? Your tenant's money. If you did buy the correct property, their money is paying for the repairs. Who's putting that positive cash flow in your pocket of $250 a month? Your tenant is, okay? Now, with that being said, a little side note real quick. There's nothing wrong with being a tenant. I plan to sell my house here, and I plan to become a tenant and let my landlord fix everything up for a period, for a while. I'm going to do it for a couple of years, maybe. Maybe I'll do it for the rest of my life. I like living where somebody else is taking care of my house, not me. Okay, back to the topic of we're talking about. You want a life of luxury. How can $250 get you to a life of luxury? Because here's how you do it. If you buy one house, that's the hardest step. The first step is the hardest. So then you buy a second, it gets a little easier. You buy the third, you buy the fourth, it gets a little easier. And let's just say you're making $250 a month on all four. Okay, now you got $1,000 a month. $1,000 isn't a lot of money, but it's $1,000 a month. So if you get 8 houses, you now have $2,000 a month. But something's going to happen while you get those 8 houses. It's called inflation. And what's going to happen is your rents, because this will take a couple years maybe, let's just say it takes 2 years. Your rent will probably go up every year, just a little bit. It might go up $25, it might go up $50, just a little bit. But every time it goes up, if you have one house and the rent goes up $50, okay. You got $300 now, positive cash flow, but not quite because now you're holding out that 30% for vacancy repairs, capital expenditures, and property management fee. So your fees are a little more. The money you hold out is a little bit more, okay? But still, you got more than $250. Now you got pushing $300, all right? But now if you have 8 houses, well, easy math, we'll say you have 10 houses. If you raise the rent $50 a month, let's just say to make it easy, after the increased expenses, you got $44 a month extra, and you got 10 houses. Well, now you just got a pay raise of $440 a month. So if you are making whatever, $2,000 a month, now you're making almost $2,500 a month. And that happens every year. And every year, every month, as you pay that mortgage payment from the rent, you pay down the principal of that mortgage. You own just a little bit more of that house, okay? And I'm here to tell you, if you get serious about this, if you want to become financially independent and live a life of luxury within 10 years, it's possible. Now, I'm not saying you're going to go out in 10 years and buy a Lamborghini and a $100 million mansion somewhere, not that style type of luxury. Because along the way, though, as you get more real estate, you're going to watch my other videos where I talk about credit cards. And you're going to start using credit cards to pay some of your expenses. And you will get sign-up bonuses. And then you can fly for free. You can stay in nice hotels for free. You can get rental cars for free. And as you do this, you can start tasting a little bit of luxury. You can maybe fly first class sometime because you're flying for free. You can stay in a nicer hotel sometime because you're staying for free. And along the way, your positive cash flow first is $250 a month. Then it's $1,000. Then it's $2,000. Then it's $2,500. Then next thing you know, you're at $5,000 a month. When you work a job 40 hours a week, how much are you making? Are you making $5,000 a month? Say you are. Which is what, $60,000 a year. But say now you get $5,000 a month from your real estate portfolio. That's another $60,000 a year. And the tax you pay on your rentals is way less than the tax you pay on your paycheck. Okay? But now you're making $120,000 a year and not 60. But as long as you don't allow lifestyle creep to come in where you jump too fast into that life of luxury, maybe you can turn that $5,000 a month into $7,500 a month. Maybe you turn it into $10,000 a month. You see where I'm going with this? But it can turn into the life of luxury or a better life than you have right now. And even if you keep the same home, the same humble home you live in, and you no longer have to work your job because you have enough positive cash flow coming in, isn't that a life of luxury? Because now you don't have to get up and go to work because you have to. Maybe you want to go to work, so go. But if the new boss comes in and you don't like them and that you guys butt heads, you're financially independent. You can walk away. You have options. Maybe you want to travel the world, sell your house and travel the world. That's an option. You get options. And along the way, you're going to meet other investors. You will meet other wealthy people. You might meet me as I make my travels around the world. Maybe we'll sit down and have a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, or maybe we'll break bread together. I don't eat a lot of bread though, but we'll eat a meal together. Okay? Maybe that'll happen. Look at me, I'm just a blue collar guy, but I'm financially independent. Okay? And if I can do it, I guarantee you, if you want to, and you work hard, and you put forth the effort, you can become financially independent and you can start living a more luxurious lifestyle than you do today without having debt, without going into debt, and without having to work. So with that being said, have a great day. Mazskes, signing out.